welcome back to the Matrix. You're not to the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button so other people can spam the like button and hit the share. Let's get this party started. Happy July 21st, 2025 to everyone. It is Moon Day, July 21st, 2025. Bitcoin, as of the time of recording, is currently sitting at $117,680. And basically, like we've been saying, it's just kind of chopping in this range. And the interesting thing is, though, Bitcoin actually relatively had a decent little correction here. You know what I mean? A 5% correction. It really got as low as a 6% correction, which isn't, the end of the world. But the important thing to note, though, and why this is important, is just like how much we really are transitioning into the next phase, as Bitcoin is down today, but so is Bitcoin Dominance. Like, this is officially, on any timeline that you want to look at, this is a macro lower low, like deep correction. We're all the way into the 60s at this point. Now there's a decent bit of support here, so getting a dead cat bounce back up to 63 would not be weird. But what we're seeing is like Bitcoin is kind of down, but XRP is up. New all-time high for XRP. Ethereum flirting. It's getting daily body closes above the 702. This is beautiful stuff. So XRP looks like it's going to go into full-on price discovery. I know the XRP army is kind of crazy, and they're like, but 384 was the real all-time high. Not in the land of reality. Only in the land of odd and nod and the land of errors where no one can take profit. But in the land of reality, the all-time high was $3.40. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. Let's get squared up with that. So XRP, all-time high. Ethereum, chilling at $3,773, flirting with daily body all-time highs. I really want to see how tomorrow closes. But this is a big level. Now, there's a lot of resistance here, so we'll see if we can get through it or not. But if we start getting daily body closes above the 702, there's a strong probability that Ethereum goes into price discovery, which is really going to roll Bitcoin Dominance over. And, basically where I think that we're at right now, what I learned in boating school is blankety blank. The methodology that we all know and love. And I pulled it up before. Let me try to pull this up. See if I can pull this up. I downloaded it earlier, so this might not be a clean little thing here, but I definitely, oh my god, get out of here. Here it is. This is what I wanted. Show me the money. All right, this is what I wanted to look at. So this is not a great picture, but this is the money flow that we all know and love and has been at play forever. Okay, this has been the money flow forever. Let me zoom out a little bit because this is kind of blurry. But it goes fiat into Bitcoin, right? What do we talk about? 118,000. That's that first transition. We got it. Check. We did it. And then you start going into large market caps. I don't know if you guys know this. XRP at an all-time high. I don't know if you know this. Ethereum at the 702 Fibonacci retracement. We're there. We're here. We're here. Okay? And so the next logical thing of like how it's been working, we abandoned this in November because experts everywhere threw so much noise out there that just confused regular people, that just irritates the ever-living out of me. All the noise in this space, 99% of it is complete, utter nonsense from people who have no idea. The blind leading the blind. This is simple. I wish it wasn't this simple. You wouldn't need me. This is the reality of how it's always worked. Okay, so we go into Bitcoin, into large caps, into mid caps, then into low caps. Okay, we are somewhere in here right now, in my opinion. We can see that. That's evident with the charts. Bitcoin is already into price discovery, 118. Bitcoin dominance, falling off a cliff. Ethereum, XRP, all-time high, 702. We're here. All right. Everyone kept telling me this is the Bitcoin only run, Ski. This run is just Bitcoin. It's like, yes, that's true until it's not. And this is why I like going over the charts, because we can separate perception and our feelings versus the reality of what actually happened. Okay, so what's the reality? What are the data? What is the facts? What is the logic? What is the reason? What is the actual factual when we get down to brass tacks? How did we play out here going into the 21 bull run? Which everyone in their mind, in their heart, in their feelings, but I feel, Ski, how I feel is like it felt like when Bitcoin went up, everything went up and it was euphoric altogether immediately. But that's not reality, okay? That's not reality. That's not based in facts. That's not based in numbers. Because when I show you on the top is Bitcoin going into the 2021 bull market. Okay, and let's make this a little bit where we can see the whole first peak, which basically was the all-time high. We got the 65,000. It only ever got to 69. All right, and we're going to line this up perfectly to where we can see, like as I scroll, on the bottom is Ethereum, on the top is Bitcoin. What we can see is from this moment right here, September of 20, Bitcoin went from 8,000 straight to 40,000. I want you to see where during that same time, from 8,000 to 41,000, Ethereum during the same time went from 400 to 800. Like, do you see how that's not different? Bitcoin did a 4x, but it was Bitcoin only. It was only Bitcoin. Yes. Because of the chart. Because of how it flows. Because of how it's always been. But it's different, Ski. It's different this time. I swear my wife's boyfriend said that money flow, abandon it. This is how it's always been, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much noise in this space. It's hard to get a grasp on what's real, what's not. I get it. I understand. This is why I advocate. Listen to all, but only trust yourself. All right, with that, let's get into your guys' questions, comments, concerns. Hey, guys. Yes, sir. What up, my brothers and sisters? Sorry faces. Leroy Jenkins, 10 out of 10 Ski. Solnick looking primed for the next leg up. I agree. Ski brother, did you move ICP targets? Up 2.2 million market cap, July 4th, baby. Why do I feel XRP is topping this cycle? Because it's at an all-time high, because it only has like another 50% in it in all likelihood. Like, I wouldn't be investing in XRP right now unless you're holding it for 2, 3, 5, 10 years. I don't think XRP is a good buy at all right now. It's already in price discovery. It was just at 30 cents. It's now at $3.80, $3.60. Like, it already did a 10x. It's already larger than the market cap of McDonald's. Can it go higher? It will probably go to $5. That's the highest probability in my opinion. And let's do the math on that. What are we talking? We're talking 41%. Is that why you get in the most risky asset in the world? Not me. 41%? That's pretty good. It's nothing to sneer at. But that's why you feel that way, because it's already went from 30 cents to $3.60. You know what I mean? Like, we can't pretend like that didn't happen. Hey, Ski, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Thanks. Still small supply if it gets approved. Can you chart Teo? I got you. All right, let's look at some of the TikTok comments. They're flying in here, man. Skia Savage, what's cracking? 10 out of 10. Good Monday, bro. How do you think about Algo? I like Algo. $2, $4, $8, $8. Bitcoin dropped to 114. Super plausible. Super probable, honestly. What I've said about Bitcoin is I think we're going to range between 112 and 120. Bitcoin dominance found 4% today. Let's go. Jordan, thank you for the galaxy, bro. I appreciate you. Bro, thank you for the galaxy, bro. My God. My God, thank you for the galaxy, bro. Great heavens. Great. Jordan, you're a madman. Jordy. All-time high. NCT and DNT are 200 EMA. Thank you for the what's up, brother. I appreciate you. ADA prediction 2468. Ethereum all-time high was 48. That's right. I think that's right. I don't remember off the top of my head, actually. I spent so much time charting Ethereum. I don't actually even like Ethereum. Yeah, that's right. 4,800. That's correct. So we're already above the 702. ADA ICP predictions 2468. 20, 40, 100, 60, 100. Gav's dad, thanks for the fireworks. Are you expecting short-term pullback for price discovery? What's everyone's prediction for XRP? Mine is 5, 8, and 12, but I think the highest probability is 5. ETH's all-time high is 4,800. Jam's still saying December high. On what? Like, Bitcoin's already made a new high. That's a crazy thing to say. Like, on what? Like, what? Man, that's funny. Bro, so funny. Can you look at XRP, please? ADA 2468. All right, NCT, DNT. Let's look at that. I like NCT. I think it's a good play, or it was a good play. I haven't looked at it today. It's up 3% today. Yeah, man. This is the same chart as VeChain, same chart as ADA, same chart as Bitcoin in 2013 through 2016. This is a really good-looking chart. And you have these long periods of just boring accumulation, sign of strength, backtest, move higher, backtest, reaccumulate again. Literally the same setup as Bitcoin. You're starting to chop higher. This, to me, is a big critical level that we can see has been at play since November of 2023. Every time NCT has gotten here, that's been support. And you kind of really only get these periods of just grueling, and then it kind of goes violently. So I think that the next one's going to be to the price discovery when it breaks from this. But I would say a good level would be 1.8. Price discovery from this is 16. Only expecting value plays I see right now. Dynex looking good. I agree. Dynex is looking good. Thanks for subscribing on YouTube. Yes, Savage. VeChain still look good. VeChain looks exactly like this chart right here. Same exact chart. Same exact chart. ADA 2468. Do you consider Ondo, Link, Arrow, large caps, or mid caps? Yeah, I would consider them medium to large. Arrow and Ondo have a decent bit of inflation. Link, not as much. I do think Link is primed to make a pretty big move here to kind of catch up to Ethereum. Arrow and Ondo are they're gonna do fine. I think 3x is like what we're looking at for those. Like if you think you're going to invest $79 into Arrow or Ondo and retire your lineage, I don't think that that's reasonable. There's too much inflation on those. I think realistically, I think Ondo and Arrow are looking at about a 3x, which is great. You know what I mean? But I just want everyone to have the correct expectation. That's where people get messed up is everyone wants a 3x until you actually get a 3x. And then all of a sudden, well, actually, Ski, I didn't want to pay off my credit cards. I wanted to pay off my credit cards and get an RV as well. And then you get a 5x, and you're like, well, Ski, hold on now. I wanted to pay off my credit cards, get a new RV, and pay off my house. And then you get a 7x, and you're like, well, Ski, hold on now. Wait a minute. I really needed a 10x because I need a new boat too. And then that's how you become a bag holder. Okay? Yo, Ski, what up, brother? Thoughts on Crow? I like Crow. Follow and subscribe. $3 airdrome. I think $3 to $5. Can you chart Cardano short term, long term? Yeah, let's look at Cardano. I just made a video on Cardano, but it has the same. This is my favorite setup, macro. So ADA has this setup, NCT has this setup, Crow has this setup, VeChain has this setup. There's a lot of coins that have the same setup right here. Link has the same setup. This is a good structure of macro, not tomorrow, not, you know, we're not talking next hour, max out your credit cards and go 100x long. That's not what I'm telling you to do. But macro, this is a good setup and a good structure. Okay. Where is ADA? Where are you? So there you go. Same thing. You have your markdown, accumulation, sign of strength, back test, move higher, back test, reaccumulate. And we put in a macro higher high here. As we can see, ADA is off to the races, it looks like. This is going to be a big level over here, 40 billion, which is, you know. So let me just show you, like, this is what mature assets do kind of their first or second time around. Okay. So ADA has been around the block, right? It's not ADA's first rodeo. Bitcoin's been around since 2008, right? This is what it did in 2013. So this is a normal structure from new assets that are been around, okay? So same structure. On the top is ADA. On the bottom is Bitcoin from 2013 through 2016. This is from 2021 through present day. You have the same exact parabolic rise, distribution, markdown, accumulation, which is a long, boring bottom, sign of strength, which marks firmly that the bottom is in, back test, reaccumulate, same thing, move higher than the sign of strength, move higher than the sign of strength, back test, reaccumulate again, and then this is the end of the story. This is what's called the mark up. NCT has not gotten it yet. ADA has not gotten it yet. Crow has not gotten it yet. There's a lot of coins that have the setup to do that. And if you like zoom in the micro, by the way, it's still going. I didn't even reach the top, but we're not going to do that. I'm not even going to give you the satisfaction. Okay. So here's after the move higher, back test of the reaccumulation. By the way, this move higher for Bitcoin, I would just want you guys to put in perspective, right? Everyone thinks a dip means it's done. Bitcoin dipped 40%. Do you understand? Okay, same thing. Big dip over here. I don't even know what ADA did from the top. 28%. So ADA went back less than Bitcoin did. Okay? And then when you start to look at it after your big correction, you start to kind of gruel your way higher. That's basically where ADA is, in my opinion. This back test, grueling your way higher. And it does this. It kind of just gruels its way out of there until it doesn't. Okay, and then it flirts with an all-time high. And that after it gets above an all-time high, that's when it goes crazy. Okay, that's what we can see. This is a pretty common structure. And commonly also what you see is when you're flirting with the all-time high right here, boom, this is the same range. Rarely do you just pop above it. It takes a little bit. Ethereum might struggle at 4,800 for a little bit. ADA might struggle at, I don't even know what the market cap is. $100 billion market cap. That's such a psychological number too. It's going to struggle there. Okay? And then it pops. It goes into the markup. Dude on TikTok sent you 5 galaxies a minute DNT for him. I got you, bro. Did I miss DNT? My bad. My bad, Jordy. Jordy! My bad, brother. I got you, fam. Don't worry, brother. Thank you for all the galaxies. I appreciate you. I forgot. You did say DNT. I got distracted. All right, so pretty good structure as well. It doesn't quite have... This is just a clean sign of strength. Jordy, my God, thank you for the galaxies, bro. This is a clean accumulation, sign of strength. This isn't like your move higher yet. This went all the way to the 702. So the next would be price discovery of 40 cents. I don't know what the inflation on this is. I don't know too much about this coin, to be honest with you. Let me see. DNT. What's the inflation on this? I don't know. So 30 million, FTV 30 million. Okay, no inflation. Good. Very good. So yeah, I think there's a solid probability we get to price discovery, which is 40 cents. Parabolic would be about 86 cents. That would be insane. It already hit the 702. That would be a number as well to consider. 18 cents. Thank you for the 199 donation, brethren. I appreciate you. Flux predictions, sir. Heard it's a great AI play. Flux is probably my favorite AI play. It's just in that long, boring period until it's not. It's still in that boring period. Boring people get bored with boring, but boring is good. This is textbook Wyckoff accumulation. Your preliminary support, your selling climax, your automatic reaction, secondary test in phase B. If you're sitting here like, what the hell Chinese is he speaking? Of course, I'm talking about Wyckoff accumulation, which is a textbook bottoming structure. This is a macro setup. This isn't tomorrow. This isn't next week. This isn't go max out your credit cards. But you have your markdown, preliminary support, selling climax, automatic reaction. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. You have a little move higher. Then you go down into your spring. You have a little move higher. You go down into your spring. Guess what? The spring does what? Oh, yeah. It goes lower than the secondary test in phase B, which also goes lower than the selling climax. But ski, it's done. It made a new low. Well, that's textbook. From the text, turn your text to page 37. This is 100 years old. It went lower. Great. That's textbook. From the text. Still the same targets. $3 for retracement. $8, $5, $8, $13, $20. Appreciate y'all. Go Royals, Litecoin. How many X's can it do? My target is 1,000. Thank you for the donuts, brother. LCX, can it hit $1? I think so. $1.11 is my target. Price prediction for XEC, 15 cents, 25 cents, 66 cents. Are you in agreement? ZBCN was a meme, brother. Listen, on my mama, on everything, brother. I called the top on ZBCN. I said, if you were my brother, I would tell you to take profit. I did not get sucked up into that hype. Not for a second. I don't know that I'm not going to sit here and call it a scam or a meme. I don't know any of that. But what I know is when you do a 9X in 45 days, it's time to take profit. And by the way, guess what this did? Wyckoff accumulation. Same thing. Markdown, accumulation, sign of strength, back test, move higher. Move went into price discovery. My targets when we were down here at 0.00063, my targets were on my mama 0.005, 0.007, and 1 penny. Those were my targets. We did a 9X in 45 days. I said, for the love of God, if you were my brother, take profit. This is all documented. This all happened. Okay? This all happened. My targets for rows are 35 cents. Yeah, 20 cents, 30 cents, and then $1. It's a good time to take profits on Ethereum. It's hit my first target. Okay, my first target was 3,300. I'm not going to move my targets and be like, well, we're here. We did a 3x, so I still need a 5x. Actually, I need to pay off my boat, not just my car. I'm not going to do that. My target was 3,300. We hit 3,300. My second target is 7,200. My third target is 12,000. Okay? What I do is I'm okay leaving a little bit on the table. That's how I operate. If you do a 5x, what the hell's another 10%? If you do a 10x, what the hell is another 20%? That's for somebody else. That ain't for you. Are you out of your ETH long? Yes, I have closed most of that ETH long. That's correct. He says spam those like buttons. That's right, guys. Spam that like button. Hit the share so other people can spam that like button. Make sure you guys drop a follow. Don't just lurk. I go live Monday through Friday. Generally, I say 4 p.m., but I generally do 5 p.m., to be honest with you guys. I'm always running late. I always think in my brain that I can get more accomplished than I can because there's not enough hours in the day. So that's what happens. I'm working hard, trying to get stuff done, and then I think I can do X, Y, and Z, and I usually get X, Y done. And then I'm like, well, let me just finish Z real quick. And then it makes me late. That's what happens. But yeah, guys, we are quick, fast, in a hurry, heading into the next phase of the game, which is going to be when the euphoria starts. And in my opinion, you should have an exit strategy, whether it be with yourself, somebody else, or me. It does not matter. But have a plan and stick to your plan. Do not move the goalpost. If you need help setting up a personalized exit strategy, that is something that I offer, so hit me in the DMs for that. But I think you should have a plan and stick to it. That's how you can have realized gains rather than theorized gains. Okay? That's my goal for you guys, is that you rely on yourself, not me. I don't want to be your savior. I'm not here to save anybody. Okay? That's not me. Stake your elbow, stake your H-bar. What are the chances Cardano breaks past all-time high? I think a decent chance. 2, 4, 6, 8 are my targets. I think a decent chance. Bitcoin crash target. Bitcoin cash targets. Let's see. Since Sonic is microcap, do you know how long it takes some money to reach small caps? Not very long. Like, relatively, they're going to rise together. Rising tides floats all ships, but we're going to have different seasons of, like, where ones are really popping off. Generally, like, what's going to happen next is Solana is going to go, right? So Solana would be a large cap, and then everything in that ecosystem is going to feel that. Sonic is my number one 100x play. Okay, so we're struggling here. At the retracement is 830. Price discovery is about 2,000. Just join. What's Sonic? Sonic is my number one 100x play. The BYOB movement. Be your own bank. That's what crypto is all about. Can you look at DNXY? Any targets? 53 I think is a good retracement number, and then it would be a $1.11. Shiba Inu, $2. I verily I say unto you, my targets for Cardano are $2, $4, $6, $8. That's where I'll be exiting. Let me say it one more time. $2, $4, $6, $8. Let me say it again. $2, $4, $6, $8. Those are my targets. Hey, Ski, what's your exit on Cardano? $2, $4, $6, $8. 2468. 2468. 2468. 2468. For the 76th time. 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are my targets. Thoughts on I am one day closer to getting a ski tattoo. Somebody owes me a steak dinner. I don't remember who it was. Back in April, when Bitcoin was at 75K, I said the bottom's in, boys. We're going to 118 before we make a new low. Somebody said they will get me a steak dinner if that happens. I don't remember who it was. But I'm coming to collect the rent, okay? I like my steak medium rare. Do not overcook my steak. I will be very upset. You can undercook it. Do not overcook it. Listen, if you do your steak well done, just put ketchup on it and grow up. You're taking a certain percentage at Cardano. Generally, I do 20 to 30% is what I recommend. But I have 4 targets, so it'd probably be 20%. VeChain targets, 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. Targets on Solana, 420, 510, 600. Ketchup on steak, no way. I agree. Listen, I'm making a joke that if someone likes their steak well done, they're childish. And it's a childish thing to do to put ketchup on a steak. Grow up. Eat it medium rare. How much invested in Solnic to make 50K? My bare bones target, so Solnic right now is at what, half of a penny? My bare bones target by the end of the bull market is 7.5 cents, or I will shave my beard. So what is that, like 3K, 4K? Not financial advice. Nothing is guaranteed. But that's my beard bet. Solnic will reach 7.5 cents by the end of the bull market, or I will shave my beard. My targets are 10 cents, $1, $5.89. Render ski, 10, 20, 30. VeChain, 40 cents. VeChain seems too good to be true. That's why we got 20 cents too. That was supposed to be Dynex. Okay, I was confused. I got you, bro. I don't know that my target has actually changed on Dynex. Dynex is just deep in accumulation here. I like what's happening with Dynex. Okay. In hindsight, listen, this was my worst one that I gave you guys, to be honest with you. This was distribution. I like this project. I still liked it back in. I still think it's a good project. I still think it has a good chance to do really, really well. This is a nice, healthy distribution, though. This is your buying climax, your UTAD, your LPS. You go deep into your markdown. You break the downtrend. You're in accumulation. This is pretty deep into accumulation now, I would say. Probably in phase B, about to start phase C. This is what I anticipate. Jesus, is 15 cents for our sign of strength. Back test to about 10 cents. Chop there for a little bit, and then start the mark up. And I think minimum it's going to retrace to about 69 cents, which is going to be a decent play. But if it wants to go into price discovery, we're talking $2, $3.50. Those are still. Says, I remember that someone does owe you. I'm coming to collect my steak. My dude, Flux. I love me some Flux. Flux is one of my favorite AI plays. I bought Dynex near the local bottom and chilling. I bought it at the top and at the bottom. Link targets 38, 78, 178. Overcook steak, straight to jail. Listen, do not overcook my steak. My feelings will be hurt. Medium rare. If you undercook it, I will accept a rare steak. It's okay. As long as we got a good sear, we are good. If it's mooing, as long as it's got a sear, I'm good. Don't overcook it, though. I'm going to be very upset. Oh, man. All right, Teo. Let's do Teo. I'll be very upset if you overcook my steak. Not a ton of chart history here. 800 is the retracement. Price discovery is 1700. ICP, I like ICP. Do you think Brett's going to do anything? Make sure you guys drop a follow. I don't mind this chart for Brett. This is distribution, markdown, accumulation, sign of strength, back test. Retracement is 12 cents. I think it'll at least do that. Everything that does not have bad tokenomics will retrace. That's a 1.5x. Price discovery is 33 cents. That's a 5x. So that's what I think is plausible. Probable to plausible is a 1.5x to a 5x. Pepe, pretty much the same, 3 to 5x, to be honest. Flux targets, 3, 5, 13, 20. Do not pass go with a stake medium rare, over medium rare. That's exactly right. ICP targets, 20, 30, 69, 100. Ethereum, please. Ethereum is at past my first target. 3,300 has been my target since $1,000. My second target is 7,200. My third target is 12,000. I'm not going to pretend like because we're here that I'm going to move the goalposts. I don't think it's terrible to take profit here. Now I do think we're probably going to go into price discovery because we're already past 702. I stick to my exit strategies, and I'm just okay leaving a little bit on the table. That's how I consistently realize gains rather than theorize them. Ethereum holds the whole key, though. You know what I mean? To the entire market. Do you think we will see a pullback? I will follow if you respond. Well, there you go. You better drop a follow. I responded. Absolutely, there's going to be pullbacks. Nothing goes up in a straight line. In fact, I think there's a decent probability that we have a decent pullback in August. Historically speaking, August is one of the worst performing months for Bitcoin. August and September, historically speaking, are the worst 2 months. October, November, April are the best 3 months. The average return for April is 40% for Bitcoin. The average return for November is 40%. November, since 2022, November of 2025, I have been saying since 2022 is the euphoria. I still think that. To this day. 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 Ski, can you explain what price discovery means in crypto? Price discovery means you're discovering a new price. Okay. From a technical perspective, it's the 1618. Okay. The 1.618, that is the golden ratio of the Fibonacci retracement. If you were to pull a Fibonacci from the top of a price to the bottom, the 1618 is the golden ratio. That is what I consider price discovery. So not just like, you know, the all-time high for Ethereum is 4,800. So getting to 4,900 is not price discovery. That's still like a double top, if you will. It's not until you really break into that next leg that is true, proper price discovery. That makes sense. November this year. Did you sell your Sonic bag this morning? No, I did not. 6 low is my wallet. I have sold 0. I've been in it for over a year. By the way, every single leg higher from the beginning. Let's go to the Sonic chart. Every time we go to a leg higher, there's always been a silly Willy who unloads their entire clip from the beginning. I want to go to Dex Tools to show you the whole chart, but I know TikTok doesn't like that. But this is what's happened every single time. See if I can find. Okay, this is a decent. So if I were to go on the 3 hour, you could see this a little bit better. When was this? February. Okay, yeah. So this was like the first like accumulation period we had. Right here, this right here, someone sold 39 million. And then we immediately went up a crazy percentage from that moment. Okay? A 10x. Right here, someone sold 23 million. And then we immediately went up higher. There was a period in here, I believe it was, someone sold 11 million. And then we went up higher. Like, it's tradition. I don't know why people do that. I don't know why people just don't like money. But it is tradition that every time before we make another leg higher, which, by the way, we just made a higher low, someone unloads their entire clip and FOMOs into something else. All I did was make a higher low. We're deep into accumulation into phase C. We're about to start phase D, in my opinion, before starting the markup. So that's what's happened every single time. Every single time it's been less because people don't have the same supply as they used to, because we've been in this game for a long time. So here's the weekly chart. Here's the weekly chart. Show me a sub $10 million market cap that looks like this on the weekly chart. I'll buy it right now. No joke, on my mama. Because guess what? They don't exist. They don't exist. All right, so listen. It happens. And it's going to happen. When we go to $20 million market cap, someone's going to do it. When we're at $200 million market cap, someone's going to do it. When we're at $2 billion market cap, someone's going to do it. When we're at $20 billion market cap, they're going to do it. That's just part of it. It's going to be less and less as there are more and more holders. It'll be less and less of a number as there's more and more holders as more and more time goes on. I don't know why people do it. I don't think it's fair for a small project, personally. If you're accumulating $500 and then you unload 20,000, that's not cool. But it is what it is. So there you go. That's my thoughts on that. Ultimately, we're still having a green week. Ultimately, it was just a higher low. We're green on the daily. You understand? It's still a green day. All right, but yes, to answer your question, my wallet is 6 low. I've given away over 50 million Solnic at this point. There you go. What's the price target? My price target for Solnic is 10 cents, $1, $5.89, low, medium, high. My beer bet for Solnic is 7.5 cents. Solnic will reach 7.5 cents or I will shave my beard. I'm currently talking about Solnic, Ender. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. If anything, like, I just want you guys to think, like, I feel like I have enough of a track record of showing up in the worst moments. Like, I want you guys to think about, like, crypto is heating up a little bit. Great. There's lots of content creators talking about it. Awesome. Who was here at 75K telling you that they were bullish and they were buying? I show up in the worst moments. I have enough track record of doing that. Who is here November of 2022, live streaming the day FTX went to zero. I have enough of a track record showing up at the worst moments, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to show up in the best moments. I'm going to high five you. I'm going to be so pumped that you're changing your life. And I'm going to show up in the worst moments and tell you that it's okay. I'm going to pump the brakes when we're pumping, and I'm going to be the voice of reason when we're not. For everything. I have enough of a track record of doing this consistently. That's what I am. All right. The Web, thank you for the $5 donation, brother. I appreciate you. It says XRP ADA V chain price for the next bull run. Web follow soon. Depends. Let's say XRP goes, let's just for fun, let's say they all hit my medium target. So XRP goes to $8. ADA goes to $4. VeChain goes to 40 cents. I would say that VeChain would probably go to $1. ADA would probably go to $12, and XRP would probably go to $20. Ski shows up. That's right. I show up. Listen, I'm not right about everything. I don't get 100% of things right. I get things wrong. But I'm going to show up in the worst of times. And I'll be here, right here in the trenches. The proper trenches. Okay. Do you think we have a bear market with all the adoption institutional money coming in? There's always going to be bear markets. There's always going to be pullbacks. Now, is there a chance that things are different? Like, actually, is there a chance that Bitcoin behaves like the stock market and has a prolonged period of, 5, 6, 7 years, 5, 6 years of a prolonged bull market followed by 1 year of a bear market? I think that that's pretty plausible. I don't know is the truth. I don't know what's going to happen. My prediction, though, is 2029, we're going to have a pretty big correction. Like a big one. The big one. And the question is, like, are we pumping all the way into there, the roaring 20s? Or what do we do in between those times? I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. I think that there's a reasonable plausibility that that's how Bitcoin behaves. Yes. But there's always going to be bear markets, even with institutions. Like, there's bear markets in the stock market. You know what I mean? There's bear markets in bond market. There's always bear markets. They don't go away. It's just like, how deep are they? Excellent thoughts. $1.11, 222 on his mama. ETH targets 3,300, 7,200, 12,000. Those have been my targets since 2022. I need help with an exit. Hit me in the DMs, brother. That is a service that I offer. Ski makes it happen on his mama. Do you think there will be another big correction now before alt season? I'm cautious about August and September. Historically speaking, those are the worst 2 months for Bitcoin. Why 2029? Okay, listen. Publicly, I need to give you context. So on my main account is the Yaboyski account. It's broken, so that's why I don't really post on that right now. But publicly on my Yaboyski account, documented 6 months before FTX went to zero, I did not know necessarily that FTX was going to go to zero. I didn't know what the event was going to be, but I had November 8th circled and penciled in as a date that I thought either June or November would be the bottom. I said this publicly with video evidence. And the reason is because of the 7-year cycle. Okay? Now, a lot of people are familiar with the 4-year cycle. But what I think is actually a bigger at play is the 7-year cycle. And we see this in stocks. Okay? So here are some recent 7-year events. Okay? 1987, Black Monday, and the Wolf of Wall Street, he gets fired. That was the 7th year. Okay. Then you fast forward. The next 7th year was 1994. You had the bond market correction. That was the 7th year. 2001, the dot-com bubble bust, 9/11 happened. That was the 7th year. Fast forward, 2008, the great financial crisis. The whole reason cryptocurrency exists in the first place. That was the 7th year. 2015, the Chinese stock market crash. That was the 7th year. 2022, we had a recession. I know they changed the definition, but prior to 2022, the previous 100 years, if you had 2 consecutive GDP quarters at a loss, that is a recession. That's what we had in 2022. You had the war in Ukraine. You had FTX went to zero. Silicon Valley Bank technically was in 2023, but if you pick up what I'm putting down, we're talking about a different calendar, okay? So it was in the same calendar. But that was all in the 7th year, okay? The next one is 2029. And typically the climax of these events are Q3, Q4 lunar eclipses. So all I did was I looked back in 2021. I knew that the 7th year was coming. I was like, are there any lunar eclipses in 2022? Turns out there was one June 22nd, 2022. Luna went to zero. And then there was one November 8th, 2022. FTX went to zero. Now, I didn't predict, FTX is going to go to... I didn't predict any of that. I just had the dates circled in. And when they happened, it gave me more confirmation, like, hey, we're deep in Wyckoff accumulation. Here is our sacrifice, so to speak. That's a little woo-woo, but that's the truth. Okay, so 2029 is the next one. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. My theory is the real deal collapsing of the dollar, where regular people do not believe in the dollar anymore, not crypto people, right? Crypto people mostly don't believe in the dollar, but your mom, your grandmother is going to be like, I don't know about this, Jimmy, right? And AI is real deal going to be taking people's jobs to a big magnitude level. It's already happening, but to a grand scale. ChatGPT 20, right? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is it's a great opportunity to get your ducks in a row and to go on offense, right? Because they teach us they teach us about the Great Depression. They teach us about, in school, they teach us that people were starving, and that was true for a lot of people. A lot of people were starving. But in reality, 33% were starving, 33% were middle class, 33% went on offense and got filthy rich. Okay, so I think it's going to be the greatest opportunity in our lives. It's not the time to be playing around. So that's the 7th year. There you go. There's your little lesson. Isn't July one of the worst months in crypto? No. Historically, August and September are the worst months in crypto. Let me see if I can find this chart. Bitcoin. Seasonality. Let's see if we can find this. I always have a hard time finding this chart. Let's see if I can find it. What in the world? I spelled it wrong. It's because I'm a silly willy. Here we go. Oh my God. All right, so I'm going to try to save this picture maybe. Here we go. Here is the average monthly return for Bitcoin over the last, this is 15 years of data. So this is from August 2010 through April of 2023. And we have the benefit of hindsight. I could show you the data. November, we literally got a 40% move again. October, we had it wasn't quite 40% or 30%. I think it was 25%. But basically, so we have 2 more years of data, but for all intents and purposes, they've pretty much been the same. Okay, relatively. Like October was a little bit less. November was a little bit more than 40%. December was a little bit more. But relatively, this is almost 15 years of data. Okay, this isn't just like me cherry picking here. This is the monthly average for Bitcoin. Not altcoins, this is for Bitcoin. Okay, the average return for the best 3 months are April, October, November. November is the highest performing month. Here is the secret. You want to be accumulating the bad ones, not the good ones. You want to be selling at the good ones. That's the secret. Okay? I know that's like crazy to think about. You want to be accumulating the blood, not the green. You want to be selling the green. Okay? But August historically is pretty flat, negative 0.02%. September is actually the worst performing month, the only one for Bitcoin that averages a negative 5%. So there you go. That's the average for the last 15 years for Bitcoin. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a decent correction in one of these 2 months because that's historically what would be known. And or that's historically what's happened. And Bitcoin just was at 75, just was at 98K, just was at 75K. You know what I mean? So literally just in June, we were at 98K. So what I think is probably going to happen is we might flirt with 130, 138 maybe, go into real parabolic levels. That's possible. Maybe we just chop here for a little bit and back test 112. Probably when you get a correction, though, you kind of get into euphoria, 138, 135, back testing to 115. That's probably, if I were to guess, what's going to happen with Bitcoin. It's probably going to look something like that. Are you going to rotate large caps? Yes, I am. I have not started selling my Bitcoin, but I'm going to. 2 lunar eclipses in 2029, June 25th through 26th. In December. So I think, okay, so there you go. We already have our dates to look out for. Probably December would be the big one, to be honest. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm just telling you, I look at past data and I try to predict what is the most likely outcome, what is the most bullish outcome, what is the most bearish outcome in the world of reality, not in the land of craziness. And then I try to make my assessments based off of what is the most bullish outcome. I have a plan for that. What is the most bearish outcome? I have a plan for that. What's the most likely outcome? I have a plan for that as well. Crush the like button. That's right. That would make sense, honestly. Have another bull run into 2028, 2029, December. It's good night, Charlene. Something happens. Maybe it's AI. I don't know. No idea. Woke Crypto Adopter says, hey, Ski, what do you think about quad witching? What? Are you casting a spell on me, brother? What's going on here? Ski, are you self-taught when it comes to TA and charting? I had a mentor, but a lot of what I did was self-taught. I have a blessing / curse. I have something within me. I don't know what it is. I've always been like this. Where if I get a bug about something, I got to see it through. Okay? I don't know. I'm just like this. I've always been like this where if I get this itch or this it's like I get infected with an idea is what happens. I get infected with an idea and I will literally research 16 hours straight and forget to eat. That's how I am. And so I've had this with a few different things. TA was one of them. And I did this for, many, many years straight, looking at charts, looking at patterns. I've always been someone who recognized patterns since I was a little kid. I've been like that. So I've been like this since I can remember, honestly. But I did get a TA bug, and I looked at charts, 10 plus hours a day for years. I did have a mentor who kind of guided me. He taught me about Elliott Wave a little bit, taught me about Wyckoff a little bit, but a lot of it was self-taught. What price are you selling Bitcoin? My target was 118. I just haven't done it yet. We're here. There's no reason for me not to follow my own advice. I just haven't done it, to be honest. It's literally just been because I've been so busy with my house getting it ready to sell. But 118 was my target since we were at 20K. So I'm not going to move the goalposts. That's why we love Solnick. Do you have Solnick and Fat Cat predictions? I do. My target for Solnick is 10 cents, $1, 5.89. Targets for Fat Cat just in the next leg, 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents. It could do more than that. Like, I think Fat Cat's going to be around, but that's just based off of TA. Do you November will be the top, or do you think we'll run into 2026? My prediction since 2022 has been November of 2025. There's a decent probability that we run into 2026, especially because what happened in last November is I think that was premature, right? I don't think we were ready to go to experience that euphoria. We just kind of willed it into existence. And there was a lot of nonsense. Hold up. All right, it's not my Wi-Fi this time, guys. It's just the they think I'm a robot. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, so I think we just willed it into existence where we weren't really structurally ready. And then when Trump launched the meme coins, we've talked about this a little bit. I think it's a net neutral. There was some benefits to it. There was some negatives to it. But I think ultimately it set us back a solid 6 months, sort of being premature. We went into this premature euphoriation. We weren't ready structurally, honestly. But we had some time. We reaccumulated, and I think we're in a much healthier spot with Ethereum, with Bitcoin dominance, with Bitcoin. And I think we have a bigger base to launch off of. So if you want to argue that we're going to go into 2026, I'll listen. I think that there's a reasonable plausibility. My targets were November, but I'm not married to it, right? I have, again, I'm known for a predictions guy, but what I really do is I outline the most likely scenarios, bearish, bullish, and what is the most probable. And then I have a plan of action in either way we go. That's what I do. I know I'm known as a predictions guy, but that's not really. Like, I do predict stuff, but really I just outline what's the most likely thing to happen, bearish, bullish, and sideways. And then having a plan in place either way we go. So, yeah, if you want to argue that we're going to go into 2026 because we went too early back in November of 2024 and it set us back 6 months, I'll listen to that argument. I think there's real merit in that argument. If you want to say, like, well, we're just going to do 2025 because of the 4-year cycle, I'll listen to that too. Guess what? I'm going to have a plan either way. Will Solana wake up anytime soon? I think Solana's the next blue chip to wake up. Thanks for the question, though. Our drone predictions, 3x. ICP hit 25 minimum. I think so. Are you going to wait for 130 to sell? No, I'm not. My target was 118. The only reason I haven't done it is just literally I've been too busy. There's no reason other than that. Like, I think Bitcoin's kind of hot, honestly. Can Solana hit 200 soon? I think so. All right, guys. If you guys want to set up a personalized exit strategy based off of your personal needs, your goals, your portfolio, that is a service that I offer. So hit me in the DMs for that. That service comes with a one-on-one consultation, a portfolio review, a personalized exit strategy, lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my Telegram group where I put out my calls, trades, and there's a awesome community, which I think is the biggest benefit of being in the group, is the like-minded community of people learning, growing, Some of us are different. We go about things differently, which is great. Iron sharpens iron. That to me is the best thing. But that's going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. I'm not going to ask you and say, how's it going? I'm not going to say, how's your trading going? None of that. If someone does that, guess what? That's somebody from Pakistan or Kakistan or Turkestan, but it's not Skiistan. All right, that's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first, God bless.